The ethical problem, in quotations, which I have been asked to address is not an ethical problem at all. The question is, how do you represent someone you know to be guilty? It is not a question that I must ask because it is not my job to determine guilt or innocence. My job as a defense lawyer is to defend to the maximum extent permitted by law. My clients, in the eyes of the law, are presumed innocent unless the prosecution is able to meet their burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the prosecution is entitled to a fair trial. However, it does provide for a fair trial for the defendant. Judges are not so much there to be fair and impartial, but really to ensure that the prosecution is complying with the Constitution. Our system works best when the defense is zealous, when the prosecutor is challenged to meet their burden, and where the jurors follow the law or nullify it if it is unjust. The system works best when jurors courageously accept their roles as judges of the facts and are not brainwashed by the prosecution or emotional matters such as a horrendous crime, which can then tilt the scales of justice unfairly against the defendant. Lady Justice can be blind but not deaf and dumb. It is never the job of the defense lawyer to play God, to judge, or to be a jury. It is the job of defense lawyers to take the slings and arrows and bullets of the prosecution, judges, and even society in defending unpopular defendants and causes. It is a job that is, in my view, patriotic because lawyers have historically preserved democracy. I am a great believer in Patrick Henry's most famous quote, "Give me liberty or give me death." If my client loses, then my only ethical dilemma is in satisfying myself that I have done everything possible to help that person in mitigating the damage. In point of fact, the terms guilt or innocence have both objective and subjective meanings in the law. For example, if someone is charged with larceny, the prosecutors must prove the unlawful taking of property, but also that they intended to do so, and very often that is determined by circumstantial evidence, a gray area in which defense lawyers must frequently work. We work a lot in gray areas trying to show lack of intent and reasonable doubt. People do not want to commit crimes unless they are sociopaths, but they do commit crimes out of necessity because of mental or emotional problems or because of drugs and alcohol. I view my role as mitigating damage, but also in helping clients to straighten themselves out to become rehabilitated. My goal is to treat them like a family member, to reorganize, to recognize that their problem could be mine or anyone else's. I believe in people, in giving them hope and the ability to earn their way back into society. I believe in restitution and rehabilitation, not retribution. I believe in forgiveness and education. I believe in alternative sentencing in lieu of jail. My ethical dilemma occurs in pushing a system to meet the human needs of clients. With few exceptions, almost everyone is worth saving, and I am unalterably opposed to the death penalty.